If you are dealing with prolapse symptoms that you just can't seem to shake, I have what might be an out-of-the-box solution for you. I was diagnosed with prolapse about 2 years ago, and I was an avid athlete. I ran and swam and biked and hiked and strength trained and the whole thing. And in one day, out of the blue, I felt my prolapse for the first time, and I wasn't even doing anything physical. I had just gone over to sit on a curb waiting for my sons to come out of a store, and I was like, that's weird. What is that? What do I feel? It felt like I had a tampon in wrong, and you probably know what that feeling is. So I got kind of worried, and I started doing my internet research, and I went to a doctor within a week or two. And I asked her lots of questions, and I had seen online that estrogen cream can be very useful for prolapse. I had seen that online, and I asked her about it because I was curious about getting a prescription for estrogen cream. And she again kind of poo-pooed me, and she said, look, do X, Y, or Z. I can't remember what she told me to do, and then come back to me. And if you still feel like you're having symptoms, then I will write you out a prescription for estrogen cream. And I thought, that's weird. Why wouldn't she just write me up a prescription for estrogen cream? So what I ended up doing was I found someone who would write me a prescription for estrogen cream online. Now, I did this for a couple reasons. First of all, I went from feeling normal to pretty uncomfortable. It felt like in 5 seconds flat. I went from having no prolapse to feeling my prolapse acutely pretty quickly. And it's like if you know something's wrong, you feel it all the time after that. Like sitting down felt uncomfortable, driving felt uncomfortable, walking felt uncomfortable, running felt uncomfortable. So many things felt uncomfortable. Exercising felt uncomfortable, and what I needed was something to take the edge off. So I found a company online. I met with the doctor, and then she was like, of course, no problem. I'll write you out a script for estrogen cream, and we'll just have it delivered to your house. And so I started using estrogen cream, and I can't even tell you, within 1 to 2 weeks, I felt like a huge part of my symptoms were gone. I wasn't 100% better, but I will say I was very much better. And what happened was it took the edge off, so then I could do other things without feeling worried that I was doing something wrong. So I could, even just like sitting or driving or whatever it is I was doing at work, whatever, I didn't feel like I was feeling it. So it really helped ease my anxiety about it, which was really helpful. And it also allowed me to start rehabbing it without feeling like it was irritated, because I started doing at-home rehab programs for my prolapse, and I just couldn't shake my prolapse symptoms. I was like, how do people do this while they feel their prolapse? It just felt, I was worried that I was causing more problems. So I would avoid doing my exercises because the symptoms just wouldn't go away. So I was like, was this really helping? So once I got my estrogen cream, within 2 weeks, my symptoms were really low, unless I did something really stupid, like lift something over my head from the basement, doing, taking storage stuff down and that kind of stuff. Then I'd be like, whoops, I feel it. But it's fascinating. So if you have these kinds of symptoms of prolapse, I'm going to just give you I'm just going to pass along some information so that you have an idea of what estrogen cream works with and how it can help you. So the first thing it helps with is it helps prevent that burning sensation that you get when you have a prolapse. A lot of times when you have a prolapse, you have a burning sensation down there, like it's like a UTI. And it's like, I would call it a phantom UTI, because it sort of comes and goes, it's burning, it has all those UTI symptoms, and it's really uncomfortable. And you know that It helps with that feeling like I have to go to the bathroom right now. Like I have to go to pee right now. That symptom that will kick in of this like acute sensation of needing to use the bathroom, which if you have prolapse, I think you know what I'm talking about. It is acute and it is unnerving, and then you go to the bathroom and you don't even really have to pee. You just have that really painful sensation, and you can even sit on the toilet and you'll pee like nothing, and then you'll 5 minutes later you still feel like you have to pee, and man, does that suck. So using estrogen cream actually helps to reduce those symptoms. It really helps with UTIs or that sort of phantom UTIs, like maybe it's subclinical and you don't really have a UTI, and it helps with that feeling like you really have to pee, like hurry, 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 you have to pee, that feeling. And estrogen cream really helps with that. Estrogen cream also helps with your pelvic floor PT. How it does that is, and this is fascinating, it actually helps the muscles to contract and relax better. So you get better results from your pelvic floor physical therapy or any kind of rehab you're doing when you're using estrogen cream, which is fascinating. So your results will be better and faster if you are using an estrogen cream regularly. And the results of this, using this, is so fast. I mean, I think I felt better in 2 weeks. When I did research, it said anywhere between 1 to 3 weeks. I felt so much better so quickly. It totally took the edge off. It gave me back like a confidence. I didn't feel like my primary symptoms was that sensation where you feel like you have a tampon lost up there, or just like, just sort of rubbing you the wrong way. That whole thing, it was almost gone, like I said, unless I did something over my head or something like silly, or if I like went and did a longer run or whatever, then I would feel it. But the symptom relief of 2 weeks, and I think it was like 1 week for me, I think it was really felt like, oh my gosh, this is a miracle, was so fast. Because when we're losing estrogen, the tissue down there for us women, it changes. It stiffens up, it's drier, all of that stuff. So estrogen cream is great, and it gives you relief in 2 to 3 weeks. Now, the last thing that you might find the best, because you might be like, oh, I can't do estrogen for whatever reason. This kind of estrogen that we put, the vaginal estrogen, it does not impact your blood levels of estrogen. So it does not impact your blood work. It does, if you feel like you are not someone who can take estrogen, like you don't do HRT or anything like that because you're concerned about your hormone levels, this does not change that. So this is a great way to sort of navigate any hormone issue you might have. This is a great way to navigate that, because if you're not doing HRT but you're still having these kinds of symptoms, this is a great tool that you can use, because it does not leak out into your blood work, your blood levels, and impact your hormone levels systemically. Okay, so that's another reason why estrogen cream is so good. And I did a lot of research on this before I started using it, and it's fascinating because as we get older, us women, I feel like most of us should be on this kind of an estrogen treatment, because so many women, as they get older, struggle with all of this, UTIs, infection, all of that stuff. And it actually, when you're old, it can kill you. It's like one of the reasons why women die is from UTI infections. So when we're older, like in nursing homes and whatever, so this is like a great thing to use in order to keep that area like working well and we're functioning well and avoid infection. So it's just like amazing. So if you are dealing with a prolapse and or any of those symptoms of prolapse, like the burning sensation or the urgency of peeing, or you have these phantom UTIs or any of that kind of stuff, This cream is something that you definitely want to look into and think about and maybe start trying. In the beginning, I can't remember, they give you a little measuring tube that you'd sort of suction out of it. And in the beginning, you use it once a day before bed. And then after maybe a month, it went down to every other day. So it gets to the point where you're only using it if you, like, unless you really want to use it all the time. I got down to the point where I just use it a couple times a week, 2 or 3 times a week, unless I'm feeling really symptomatic, like if my period's on its way or something like that. I might get a little more on top of it, because we all know that when our periods come, our prolapse symptoms can rear up, and because everything down there is just getting swollen and all of that, so it definitely impacts our prolapse symptoms. But that is it. So if you I don't hesitate to say that you should talk to your doctor about getting a prescription for this, and it's cheap. It's not, I don't even know how much it is. It's cheap. And every so often Amazon pharmacy just delivers it to me. So it's amazing. And that is it. If you have had any success stories, I would love to hear about them down below. Or if you have any questions about the cream, I would love to know success, or maybe it didn't work for you, or maybe you have a question, just sort of an aside kind of question, like something you're curious about. And that is it. So I can't say enough good things about this, especially if you have prolapse or you're dealing with anything like perimenopause, menopause, pelvic floor, whatever. This was so helpful in taking the edge off so that I could then do my physical therapy exercises consistently without worrying that I was actually hurting myself. And as I researched, I discovered that this actually does so much in order to help us stay, our pelvic floor muscles actually stay more pliable, more flexible, relaxed, and the contractions are better. So that is it. My name is June Melia. I've been a certified personal trainer for 25 years, and I would love it if you would like and subscribe for more information, primarily about pelvic floor issues and how to deal with them efficiently. Okay, so that's it for me, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Bye.